And here's Modi. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are in the studio currently. Me, Leo, and Perry L. Ashen Brand.
Wow.
Yes. When you told me brand, the word brand is there like a brand, like a Giorgio Armani brand. It helped me out, figure out how to say your name. And so we're here, Perry L. Ashen Brand, and waiting for a guest, but we're starting off anyway. We at this time, by the time this airs, are fully on tour. And we are between. By now, there's probably an election that has happened. I hope the results.
This is the message in a bottle to our future selves.
Yes,
we may be seeking asylum in the UK.
I will be on stage when the results come in.
Even though, serious?
Yeah. I'll be at the Palladium in London.
Yeah, on November 6th.
Our agent said, I have a great gift for you.
Yeah, he framed it as a gift.
Yes.
I was like,
Not like, would you like to work in London? But we said, I actually would love to be in London during election day.
You're literally going to be on stage when the results get in?
Well,
the results
let's
aren't
be
coming
clear.
in. Yeah, those results are not coming in for any time for a few weeks, probably.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
if at all.
If at all. If at all.
And either way, they're going to be contested.
We watched Kamala Harris last night.
And by watched, I went to bed.
I watched. She was throwing some balls and she could have really banged them in. And she didn't. Not to say that doesn't make her super qualified to be the president, but she had like moments where she could have nailed it. You know, she could have, and I don't know. I don't know what the results are going to be.
Is
but
she super qualified to be the president?
Isn't she?
I mean, I don't know. I think that depends on who you ask.
She was a lawyer. Oh, good. I like that you're resisting me. Because you, as we all know, we are politically asexual. But no,
I think I'm having a sexual awakening.
Oh, you are.
I'm scared.
I have faith in the Lord, God.
In the Lord,
right? I never said Lord before, right?
Say that.
I don't think I could say Lord.
I don't think you can say Lord.
No, because Lord, the Lord our God, the Lord is when you can say the Lord. It's God.
Why can't you say Lord?
I thought the Christians had a hard.
Christians have a much different definition of Lord than Jews.
Okay.
Yeah, Lord is same, just a word for God.
Yeah.
Whereas I think your Lord is
the pop star from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Leo.
Oh, bam! Leo's on tonight.
I have to carry the weight of it. I mean,
your shoulders a little heavy. Are your shoulders carrying this podcast, Leo? Oh.
For those of you listening, this is the sound of cold brew, a venti cold brew from Starbucks.
Yeah, we are about to do 4 podcasts today. We're going to be wired.
I don't know how you guys drink Starbucks. I really don't.
Oh, is it not good for you?
No, it's just the shitty coffee.
Let's do a question. What is your go-to Starbucks order? If you have to, at gunpoint, if you're not a Starbucks person even, what is your Starbucks order? If you're in an airport and you're dying, you need a caffeine hit. There's only a Starbucks. What's your
I'm going to
order?
get the same thing I always get. It's an espresso with cold milk and ice. And I am saying,
and they give it to you in that little tiny baby cup?
No, I ask for it in like a bigger cup so I could put ice and milk in it. I never drink it in a
cup. Those of you who deviate from things that are just meant to be. I would never in my life ask them to do something out of the box.
Yeah.
Iced coffee with a little bit of almond milk, period.
Yeah.
And that's it. If it's early and cold, regular coffee, medium with a little bit of almond milk. That's it.
So
they usually turn around, do it for me, and hand it to me right away. I don't have to wait to hear Modi.
No, Modi gets mad because he'll be like, "I'll have exactly what he said, a medium coffee with almond milk, period." And then I'll be like, "Can I please have a venti iced oat latte with 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla?"
With 2 pumps of sugar and one.
That's not even a hard
kisses
order.
And hugs. I'm
and
like,
if you could hold me when it's ready, that would be nice.
Yeah. And then 4 hours later, we hear Leo. Like literally 4 hours later, and it's never.
But listen to me, iced latte with oat milk is not a complicated order. What's throwing you is the 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla, because it sounds superfluous and like luxury.
Like, and then she pumps these 2, like it looks like shampoo. She puts in shampoo, vanilla shampoo in his drink. Yeah, and then he
I
can't
wish
settle
Jessica
down the whole
Kirson would
day.
show up.
And then he can't settle down the whole day.
And I wonder why I have to take 2 Ambien to sleep at night.
Wait a second. Here's
Yeah.
the question for the viewers.
Yes.
Is Starbucks coffee garbage?
I think everyone's palate is blown out from all of the processed foods. I'm drinking Celsius during the day. Do
I
you know
love
what that is?
Celsius.
It's battery acid.
Right.
I,
but
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
You guys, your palates are blown out because you're drinking Celsius all day.
No.
But all of America is also drinking that shit.
Everybody is
And the
drinking
Monster
Celsius.
energy drinks.
No, God
and
forbid. I
and
just saw the Instagram, like the 4 things you shouldn't drink. One of them is Monster. One of them is some Prime or whatever, some
That's
other
right.
crazy
Yeah,
drink I never heard of.
poison.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
They say you should never drink. And then
I
they
hate
said
Red Bull.
the something in Starbucks. There's a drink you order in Starbucks that it's just all pure
carcinogens.
horrible.
And you know the other thing?
I
that
was
you
I
should
was
drink?
praying to God, please don't say Celsius, and they didn't say Celsius.
We got a very sweet fan email from someone. You know how sometimes you can just glean from an email that the writer of said email is like an older person?
Of said
You-
email. Yeah.
So, and they like wrote out this email and they were like, Modi, you mentioned Celsius on the podcast and I wasn't sure what it was. So I researched it. And then they sent me a video of like why Celsius is bad for you. And she was like, please be careful and watch what you're putting in your body. And I was like,
Oh, that's so sweet.
thanks, but no thanks, delete.
No, thank you
And
very
then
much
I
for sending
ordered
that.
more
And thank you for
Celsius.
caring. But it also has it's okay. It's
It
not
has vitamins.
No, not that.
No,
it
come
gives
on.
Does
you.
have vitamins.
Are you guys gonna let me discuss
No.
this? Celsius allows you to go have a workout that you would not regularly have at the gym. If you time that Celsius correctly, you will have an amazing workout. If I have my Celsius a half hour before the opening act goes on and it hits me half hour into my set, I just want to keep going and going and
You know, back in the
going.
day, people in showbiz used to just do cocaine.
I don't do cocaine. That's right.
Cue Jessica Kirson.
Enter
Hi.
Jessica Kirson. Oh,
please just hop
Oh my
in.
God! Like when they do an Aliyah in the synagogue. Yamo Jessica Bat. What's your mother's name?
know what you're saying.
What's your mother's name? Yamo Jessica Bat Elaine.
Yeah,
we already-
We'll just sit right on.
No, we didn't.
Pick up
know
that
it's when
mic
we
so
were
it's right in your
together, so we
face like a
started-
big.
Do it. I need a lesbian here.
You did it. You are the lesbian here.
Oh, you are the.
Hi, Jessica.
I know it's a lot to walk into because I
I
don't
know.
like attention.
Oh.
I'm serious. You think I'm joking, but I'm
Okay.
serious.
Oh my God.
Do an intro. Do an intro.
I'm going to do an intro, and I'm going to do the intro with a full-on blessing. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam, shechianu v'kimanu v'geranu l'zman hazeh. I have been waiting for you to be a guest on this
I know,
podcast
a long
for like
time.
3 years.
Yeah. Do you
I'm
know
not-
anyone who can clean my glasses?
I can give this. to him.
Give him to
I was joking, but thank you.
Jessica.
I
I'm
didn't
gonna,
know
I'm
if
gonna
you had,
start.
like, the
I'm gonna
help
start with
walking around.
I.
The help!
I'm gonna
Do you
start.
have the help here?
For the girl.
The girl?
The girl. The girl.
Oh, the
The girl.
You still do that bit?
No.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's
it works
so-
in the South
It
when
works.
I talk
It's
about
so
how
good.
Jewish people have help
Oh my
called
God,
the
I
girl.
love you. You look great.
Thank you. I'm
You
so
do look
miserable.
great.
How are you guys doing?
Jessica.
Oh my God, I love you.
I feel like we've had so many comedians on this show, and I get like a little starstruck that you're here.
Really?
Yeah, you're like one of the people who makes me laugh the hardest. Like
you're
at,
so
at the
cute.
shows, because I
Thank
feel like
you.
I don't laugh at comedy shows anymore.
I don't laugh at anyone, especially Modi.
No, I don't laugh at me.
I
but
laugh
I
at
do
you.
see there's times where Leo just crawls into the sofa and he's watching stuff, and you is like when he'll laugh out loud.
Aw,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
All my other like receptors are blown out from like being at the cellar.
I
Like,
know, it's really painful.
it's like I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the definition of jaded, maybe, but like I still love your stuff.
Thank
And
you.
you're literally you become the queen of crowd work.
Yeah, which is crazy.
How
It's-
do you
I mean,
feel
I
about
just-
that?
I mean, it's part of what I do, but it's like a niche thing. Like I just started posting crowd work clips because I'm not going to post my material,
Right.
and it just
It puts butts in
everyone
seats.
liked it.
And
So
can I
not
know her?
everyone.
You have
Some people hope I burn in a
571,000
fire.
followers.
What?
Some
you-
people said they hope she burns in a fire.
Of course.
Well, you
There's
get a lot of
people who hate it.
crazies.
What?
Yeah, you get a lot of.
No,
crazies.
I have amazing fans. Like my
Yes.
manager says I'm like the Grateful Dead for the mentally ill. They're really good people because they're miserable and they hate themselves. So they're really like, they want to laugh.
Oh my God,
But-
Jessica's on. We could just sit back. I'm so happy to see you. Oh my God, how long have you been doing comedy?
Do you have bagels?
No, we don't do
Why
any of
don't
that.
you have anything?
I have a
It's kind
yarmulke.
of-
I'll give you a
You have
yarmulke,
so
a merch
much money.
yarmulke.
You can't get catering?
What would you have liked to have been?
I mean,
here?
I'd have catering, and I have like half of
We
it.
are
I mean, I have
sponsored
some
by
too, but
A&H Provisions,
would I like?
kosherdogs.net.
Yeah.
30% off of your first order with code MODI.
I'm gonna vomit.
Oh my God.
Wait, do you actually have catering when you do your show?
Well, I'm starting a podcast again, but
You
I-
are?
What's it called?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Just the Jessica Kirson show
Yeah.
because I my dream is to have a talk show at some point.
You'd be so
You'd
good
be
at
so
that.
Yeah, I
good at
really
it.
want to do that, but we'll see because they don't hire women.
Well, so how long have you been doing comedy? How long have I known you?
78 years.
Literally. but-
25 years.
So
I
I've known you
started in
25 years.
99.
I've known you. 25 years
Yeah.
I've known you. Wow.
What year did you start?
I started 94 at the Cellar.
Crazy.
94.
That's when I started
It's
walking.
30 years. Ow! Jessica and I, and when did you have your first child?
Well, I didn't have any of them because I don't want to ruin this temple.
Right.
But I
How many
spread
years
my
of-
seed
Yeah.
to two women, and I was first. How old was I when Zoe was born? I was like 36.
So how many long ago was that?
Why are you doing math?
Because we did
equations
that
with me?
event. I did that event with your house. Don't
Yeah, you
remember
did her
that?
baby naming.
I did her baby name.
Well, she's 18. Can you
So
believe
she's
that?
so
She's in
18 years
college.
ago.
Wow.
18 years ago, Jessica Kirson calls me up and says, I have a baby. I go, Mazel Tov. We need to do a baby naming. Baby naming is usually the Saturday after the daughter is born. They do it as a part of the Aliyahs. But she says, no, we're doing it at our house, at my mother's house.
My dad's house.
Your dad's house.
Should've written
And I'm coming in. And she goes, could you just do a ceremony? I wore the robe.
You
I
love
wore
getting a
tallis,
drag.
I wore the cantor hat.
I love that.
It
It
was
was
a-
great.
so
I have
wait,
pictures
wait.
of that somewhere.
So,
I have to find them.
Do you have pictures of that? I would love to see it. But this was, I walk into the house and Jessica's like, Jessica's in full futz and screaming. The mother is just hollering and going nuts. And then I stand in front of the stairwell and her father comes down. Toupee an inch off his head. Am
Yeah.
I right?
Yeah.
And what's
He
the
was better
first-
looking without it because it would look like roadkill.
Literally. But the first words he says to me, I'm standing in a full cantor outfit, robe,
What?
tallis.
I hate Jews.
I'll never forget this. Says to me, irregular. I go, what? Irregular. Yes, we're doing a lesbian. He goes, irregular. I go, what's irregular? He goes, these pants I bought for $17. They cost $180. They're Ralph Lauren. They're irregular.
Yeah, he
and
was
he
the
shows me
funniest
how on
person
the
on earth.
bottom the stitching was a little bit off.
He did it to make you laugh. He was very funny. Very.
I said, oh, this is going to be an amazing day. I put together some ceremony. I began doing psalms and then I go, my voice is on. I just went off and it was just.
You were great.
Wasn't it an amazing
Yeah.
event? And the
Yeah.
food was delicious.
Yeah, the food was crazy,
The
right?
food-
We have great food at my family.
It was really next level. It was like they teased you with the locks and they said, guess
Yeah.
what? We have real food too.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so good.
Sandwiches and omelets. I know. We go all out.
Wow. I wanna
Yeah.
come.
Oh,
And that was the
my
house where you
God.
talk about where your mother used to do.
No, that's my dad's house in Short Hills, New Jersey.
Right, Short Hills.
But no, my mom, we lived in South Orange and my mom saw clients in the basement when I had to be quiet every day.
She was a psychologist.
Yeah.
She's a psychologist.
Psychologist.
Yeah.
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 And you talked about that, and it's the funniest. and
Yeah,
you're
I had to be
just
quiet every
hysterical.
day. She would be helping people in the basement, and I would be like having an anxiety disorder, like panic attacks upstairs. And she'd be like, Susan needs my help. And I'm like, well, I just ate 6 pizzas and beheaded my Barbies. But good luck to Susan.
What's the phrase? The cobbler's children
Never have shoes.
No, the cobblers don't have
Oh,
shoes.
always go barefoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Homer has a leaky snake.
You are as busy as a beaver in whatever the hell
Beaver.
beavers are. Yeah.
The never-ending tour.
I know the
That's what you've
names.
called it.
I
I
gotta
love it.
change it. It's a little depressing because I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired.
I have a question branding wise, like because people see tour dates. Sorry, I can't talk, and they'll send messages. Is this different from the last Modi show that was in town?
I can't stand when people say that. But
And-
I think with you, it's more common because it's the
It's very Jewish.
It is.
But
Is this the same show
but it's not.
But
that
it's
I
not.
saw? I
But it's
know,
not.
So
but
that's why
they're-
you changed the name. But then when I see your poster is called the Never Ending Tour, and you just keep adding dates to it, and I'm like, do people ask you the same? Like
hardly ever, but I don't. It's not
because
the
you have
same.
happier fans.
Yeah, it's
You
not the
also
same.
don't have a set list, do you? Do you?
Yeah, I do crowd work for about, well, the other night I did 30 minutes of crowd work. It's
Wow.
crazy, but that's when I'm really on. But normally it's like 20 minutes of crowd work, and then I do like 50 minutes of my
Just for the
act.
audience,
Wow.
crowd work is when the comic speaks to the audience, and like,
Ask
where are you
questions.
from? What do you do? And then a joke would
And
come
most
in.
people are horrible at it.
Most people are absolutely
Jessica
horrible
Kirson
at
is
it.
not.
Jessica is a queen of it. I avoid it because I love my material too much.
Yeah.
I just love doing
Well, it's
my
not
material.
your thing.
It's not my thing. If it happens, I'm very good at it.
Yeah. You're
But
good
I
at
don't.
everything.
But I don't. Yeah, no, I don't care. I'll toot my own horn. I just
no,
avoid it.
you're amazing at that. Like, you're amazing on stage.
You have to
You
know to
are.
understand something about crowd work. There's an element here that people don't understand something. You're on stage with a microphone. You already got them rolling,
Mhm.
and now whatever you say, they're already in a laughing mode. So it's not. Now you just have to be a little clever, or maybe even hold back or make a face.
Yeah.
So what do? I'm a receptionist, and then like you just go like that. Put a pull back, and
Yeah.
then the audience explodes of laughter.
Well, I don't already have them in a thing. I literally go out and don't even do a joke. I don't have them in a whole tizzy already. I just say, I could
Jessica,
talk to
your
someone in the
presence when
front.
you walk on stage and you turn to them and just lock eyes with them, the audience is already like such an important part of comedy is the confidence the comic
Yeah,
has
that
on
I-
stage.
that I
You
would
walk
say
on
that.
stage and says, "This is my place. This is
Yeah.
where I belong. This is what I do. You're here, especially in a comedy club.
Yeah.
I'm a comedian. This is the comedy club. This is my drag. Period. This is my thing. When it's in a different location, if a country club,
Yeah.
when you're going to work in their environment and you show up, it's a little. You still have to walk on stage like this is where I belong.
Yeah.
You're not here. I'm here. You're sitting.
Yeah.
And you have that. You walk on stage and people are like, bam, this bitch is gonna nail it.
Yeah,
They know that.
When I taught for years, I would always tell female I mean, not every comic, but you have to own the room. You
Yep.
have to like, this is mine. Don't fuck with me. I'm not afraid of you. Like, that is the whole. It's more important than materials, the confidence,
Uh-huh.
I think, and
Yeah.
likability.
Yes.
Yeah.
And knowing now, back in the day, you were much bigger. You were a big girl.
I was.
Yeah. And you used to address that. No, she had these amazing jokes.
I
about
was
it.
huge.
She was huge.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
huge. You obviously can't do those jokes.
Of course
now.
I do. I deal with food addiction. So when people say you can't talk about, I'm like, don't tell me what I can and can't talk about.
I didn't say you can.
still-
I asked
not you.
how do you
I'm
do
saying
it? How do you
fans
do
will
it?
sometimes say
Oh,
that
really?
to me.
How do you do it?
How I
Yeah.
talk about my struggle with food my whole life, and then
Okay.
I went to fat camp, Jewish fat
Right.
camp, Jack camp,
Oh my!
and I was like
God.
10 pounds overweight, but that's enormous in a Jewish family where you have to look good,
Right.
So yeah, I because it's always going to be a struggle of mine. So even though I've lost weight, I still struggle with it every day.
To make myself laugh at times, I think about your line about I'm gonna deep throat
A sleeve of Oreos.
a sleeve of Oreos.
Yeah, I haven't said that in a long. I turn around and talk to myself, and I say, "Stop eating salads in public. Everyone knows you go home and fuck your face with a sleep of Oreos."
And it's like when you add so much brown sugar to your oatmeal,
Yeah,
you ate
yeah.
a pie.
But then
I mean,
yeah, it comes a miniature pie.
it's so good, and she says it not like if I say a joke I know it's gonna land. I sit there and chalish and all the laughter. She just moves right on, just
Yeah.
throws it at them, and you see people that can't catch up to her.
See, you like bask, and I'm very uncomfortable with the attention. I know that sounds crazy, but I have to force myself to like when I'm doing theaters now, and people
Yes.
are giving me standing ovations. And in my mind, I'm like, Jessica, stay out here, take it
Wow.
in, let yourself
Yeah.
feel this. You deserve it. It's torture for me.
Bask in it.
Yeah,
But most comics are like, I just killed. I'm like the one guy in the red shirt did not laugh once.
Oh, of course.
My father is back from the dead
Right.
and looking at me. And
Speaking of theaters, you're doing The Beacon.
yes,
Mazel tov.
Yeah, I mean,
You both are doing The Beacon.
It's
When are your
amazing.
dates?
I thought you did it already.
3 shows coming up, 17, 18, and 19 of December. 17
Oh,
still
good.
has
Those are good
tickets.
dates for you.
Those are great dates. And
Yeah.
Seinfeld is the 20th.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
amazing.
super excited.
And he's
And
doing one show?
He's doing one. Well, he does it monthly or what.
Oh,
often.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're doing it in February?
I'm doing it in April.
April.
Yeah.
He literally does the
We'll
Beacon
plug
like
it.
we do Spots at the Cellar.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah, and he deserves to, and people love him, and good for him. But it's just funny. I'm doing 17, 18, 19, 20. He's doing that. Yeah.
What are your dates in April?
April 25th and the 24th, I think, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
25th is already
That's
selling
major.
really well.
Right
Yeah.
before Pesach.
Yes.
And you filmed your special already, or that?
Yes, I did. I filmed my special. It's coming out on Hulu.
Amazing. When?
Around that time too.
Oh, that's
wow.
amazing.
Yeah, and
Where'd you film it?
I filmed it at Sony Hall. It was great. I mean, it came out amazing.
Good.
It took a lot of work to make it
Yep.
what it is. And I'm very, very proud of it. And people, it's so funny because people that see me online or like followers probably think it's all crowd work, and there's no crowd work. There's
That's
like
really
one-
good.
So fat and juicy for them to like bite into.
Yeah,
because-
there's like 1 or 2 conversations, but that's it.
Wow.
Like small, tiny.
A few
I go
comedians
right
have been
into
doing
joke.
Sony Hall. Did you do anything different to the stage? Like,
yeah. We
yes.
set up the whole stage and changed.
It's a good room.
Even
I
though it has a
like it,
great
it's
stage,
intimate.
the lighting behind it. I did a few Christmas shows there. The lighting behind there is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. And I didn't want to do it in a big theater because what I'm telling you is I don't like that. It's too much for me.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God, it's so much easier in a big theater.
not
Yeah,
for me.
Oh, okay.
It's I like to be right on top of them. I like to be like on top of them, packed in, and I don't bask in the big theater thing. It's not. I'm like weird, like uncomfortable.
No, but the
There's
big theater
What's the name of
thing,
the
you get
special?
that wave of laughter, and then it like comes back and forth.
Right, but
Boom,
we're all different. Some
boom.
people would only do it in a big theater.
No,
I would
I could
only
do
do it.
anyone,
I've done
but I
both
just-
of them in a smaller 500-600 seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's so good.
What's it called?
Are you allowed to?
No, I can't
Oh.
say
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
We'll save it.
So we'll save it.
Yeah.
You can come back and plug it again.
Yeah.
In another 3 years, you can come back.
And we'll have catering for you then.
No,
We'll
I'm
make sure there's
joking.
lox
I'll take
here.
an egg white omelet.
Is there a croissant back there?
A croissant.
Un croissant. And your kids.
Yeah, they're great.
nachas. You're getting nachas from the kids.
I'm in love with. That's why I'm working so hard, so they don't have
Really?
to worry.
Oh,
No, they're amazing. They're amazing. They're getting big.
How old are the
4
little
daughters.
ones now?
It's 5.5. Can you believe that? I know. Yeah, they're getting big, and then Bella is going to be 9.
Who travels on the road with you?
I have an opener
Uh-huh.
who comes with me everywhere, and then he films me. He also
Oh.
edits stuff. It's great.
Oh,
Swiss
who
Army
is
knife.
it?
Dan, this guy Dan Janine. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
because
funny.
I was thinking about that. When I watch your clips, I'm like, you have a camera on the audience, you have a camera on you, you have different angles. I'm like, this bitch is filming a special everywhere she goes. Like,
Yeah,
it's a
no,
lot
he's
of work.
unbelievable, and he also kills, and he's like one of my best friends. I mean,
That's
it's a
good.
great situation.
So that makes
Good.
you travel.
Yeah, he's a brilliant editor. Like,
yeah,
it's
he really
insane.
is.
he made my YouTube blow up.
And about crowd work, I mean, you're obviously good at it. I would say a lot of comedians who are doing it are not, but they are sort of forced to adopt it to like feed the algorithm and like put stuff out there without burning material.
Right.
Do you think that that's like changing the palette of people who go to comedy shows? Like, do you think people are seeing a TikTok star who like
Yes,
had a
they
clip
are.
buying a ticket and then being like, wait a minute, there's no
Every
this
club
is-
tells me that.
Yeah.
When I go to the comedy club on the road, they're like, "Oh, we had Lil John here last week.
and they
He's
feel
really big on
Yeah,
TikTok."
he sold out 4 shows
Yeah, he
with no
sold out
material and had
every
nothing
show.
to talk
No,
about.
he was literally just went up and had 5 minutes, and then it's just nightmare. Like people walk out. The clubs tell me that
Yep,
people
people
Right,
walk
and
walk
then
out
they
of their
never
show.
book them again, right?
Yep, they
Never
never-
book them
Right,
again,
that's
and then
right.
these same people that came to the show might not go to another comedy
That's what I'm
show.
Right,
saying.
that's right.
That's
Yeah,
the problem.
That's
That's the
the
problem.
people who would normally
That's
go
the
to a
problem.
live event, a live entertainment, live music, whatever. these internet acts
I know,
are
it's
burning kind
painful.
of like
Yeah,
audience.
They
But
go
I
see
would
little
say,
John and then never go
Little
back.
going back to
Where that
to
got
your
that
crowd
name
work,
from.
I will tell you, you know, when I watch you do audience work, if it doesn't go anywhere, you literally abort
Yeah.
and go into material.
Yeah.
It's like, if this thing is not going to go anywhere, I'm not going to bother
Well,
with
that's why
this guy.
she's so
I
good
tell
at
them,
it.
I'm like, this is the most boring conversation
You
I've ever
stink,
had.
and
I'm
then you
dying.
go right
I
into
got to get away from
material,
you.
into
You're-
good
yeah.
material. Yeah, and the accents and the facials, and it's such a
That's why I love what you do. We're very similar in certain ways and powerful on stage and upbeat and energy and
very
all this other
physical.
shit. Yeah. Like, so I've always loved what you do.
yeah. Thank you. And
I do.
No, I remember I once I dated somebody who didn't really laugh much and definitely didn't get any of my jokes.
I remember this and I don't even remember who it was.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember.
And I brought him like much later on in our relationship to the Comedy Cellar, and he did not get any of my jokes, and he didn't like. And
That's a
Jessica came
problem.
on. Jessica came on, and he was curled over and couldn't catch his breath.
That must have been nice for you to see
It was nice for him
that
to
he had
see.
that in him.
Yeah, he like.
Well, I
was
don't know.
dying.
You're
And
like,
then we
wait,
did
not,
an
that-
event.
not for him.
Wait. Then you and I did an event for some hospital or for some. It was like in a basement somewhere. Do you remember this?
Sounds.
It was
really
so
great.
funny, and we were.
Were we in the hospital?
No. We were in. It was the young league of this charity, this Jewish charity, and it was me and you, and the audience was this rich, like Syrian or Persian.
They're just hard.
They just whatever, and they didn't get it. But the funniest part of the whole night was the guy who ran the event walks into the green room, and there was like a bunch of cute people, the girl who's in charge, and this and that, and the adorable, beautiful people.
You guys will both do an hour and a half,
Right,
but
right.
we can't pay you as much.
And then, but then the older guy who like is in charge of the whole organization comes in, and then Jessica walks in after. She goes, "Hi, I'm everyone's nutritionist." I couldn't catch my breath.
I don't remember anything.
Oh, I remember.
I don't
yeah.
even know where I am right now.
No. I remember that. We've moments. It's just. No, with 25 years, I've known her. We've done shows, country clubs, and
Oh, so many shows together.
I know.
I mean, like tons of private events.
yes.
Always at the Cellar, but like these private,
The private ones are the craziest ones.
craziest ones.
Yeah.
I mean, they pay the most, but they're
Right.
they're the ones that I have to go.
I
to
remember
therapy
you
twice
called
a
me
week.
after you did Florida. I remember the first time you did Florida.
Oh, I must have been.
You called for Jessica to call me. You understand? After a gig, I remember this phone call. You don't remember any of this, do you?
I might remember that.
It was
No,
your
I
first
remember
Florida.
some of it.
It was
yeah.
one of these century villages.
That was the worst. I mean, people say, "What's the worst?" I opened for the Platters at Century Village.
I've gotten to the point where they opened for me. But I will tell you. So you know the gig. It's 1,200 people. They all paid
On the verge of
$12.
death.
They've all paid $12 to see the show. So you're really not making any money. But it's a great room.
and it's where you start
and it's
to
where,
do these things. Like,
yeah. It's with like the introduction to the stuff.
yeah.
And she called me after. She called me before. What would I do? I go, Jessica, this is an audience that they need to know who you are in their head. Are you the daughter? Are you the
I
granddaughter?
remember this completely.
Are you the
I do.
granddaughter?
It
Are
was
you
very
the
good
daughter?
advice.
Are you the daughter-in-law? They need to know who you are. Set it up.
Yeah.
Short Hills, Jewish,
Yeah.
lesbian. They need to know where to file you and then do your act. She said, I did that. I got them. In the middle, someone yelled out, "You need to lose weight."
Oh,
You remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Someone yelled
would block
out,
that out
"Yo,
too.
you need to lose weight." Someone yelled that out to you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it must have been, unless they had complete dementia. I mean, just to yell out, I was probably in response to a joke or something.
They are 80 years old.
Yeah, no, I know. I've done 700 of them.
I know.
But yeah, they yell out a lot. I talk about that in my act. They'll just be like, "Comedian, comedian,
Yeah, in
get
my-
me a seltzer water." Like they're just
People come to me. I talk about with the audience. I say people come to me and they go, "You're Modi. You're the gay husband."
that. I
Like the
love it.
gay
That-
husband.
The gay husband. Like you don't have a name.
As if it's not
You're
just,
the whole.
Oh, I'm more than that, honey.
I know that, honey. I trust me, but I knew it would get a laugh, and I hate myself.
So no. So
Ariel, I miss you.
I know, I
so
know.
much.
oh my god, yeah. I have
Jessica really saved my life during COVID
how?
because
We laughed.
I produced and hosted a
We
Zoom
should do it
show
again.
for Jess and Rachel Feinstein during COVID.
Yeah.
We laughed every
Like
week
how you
so
guys
hard.
did your thing during COVID, what I did was lock myself in a closet for 4 hours every week and set up where like hundreds of people would come. And it was Jess and Rachel and me like
I
navigating.
saw some of this.
It was hysterical. And then we had
I think I
people came
remember
on,
it.
like Amy Schumer would just pop on, or Gilbert Gottfried, like
It was Gilbert Godfrey came on
like
and
5 times.
and
Yeah.
his son is screaming, "You're a cunt!" in like
It was the weirdest.
My god.
But people were like sitting there, and you were so generous with your time to these people because they had. At the end, we did a VIP section. So if
Oh,
you paid
wow.
extra,
Oh,
you could
wow.
interact. And, these people are like, vampires,
Oh, yeah.
right?
They all
Like-
want to tell you. They all want to tell you a story.
Yeah, someone came up to meet me after a show the other day and she fingered me. And I'm like, that's pushing it. That's a little, like, I'll hug you, but don't finger me.
At the meet. Do you do meet and,
And
greets?
it was at an Orthodox show. Like, out of all places.
Wait, do you do meet and greets?
I used to, and then I almost ended up in a mental institution. I swear, it was not. It was a lot more than the show.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
takes-
yeah,
It
yeah.
was I was selling merch, but it was unbelievable. Like,
It's a lot.
I love them and they're great, but they my fans cry to me a lot. They talk to me about their problem. Like it's
Hello.
Heavy. It's
That's
Yeah.
what this online show was, though. They would sit for hours.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, and then
Oh
my husband.
that was pretty good, Perry.
It's very good.
yeah,
Periel.
that was
That was pretty good acting.
Put that in your act.
Wow.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Now, I have my meet and greets, but Leo runs it. So he's
I
the
balance
ti-
them.
He balances them.
It's
But
good. And they pay to do it,
Yes,
right? See,
yes.
that's what I'm going to start doing.
you would do a meet and greets for free?
I would sell my merch and I would do like a picture for a certain price. And then if you brought something in a picture,
Oh,
I made a
no.
lot of money
Yeah.
selling merch and doing that. I'm telling
I
you.
love it. It gets you a flavor of the people in the room and all of that. And
We drove in from Great Neck.
yeah,
to
so
see
we
you.
know like we know like what we did the
My
Paris show.
son went to high school
No.
with your
You
sister.
know my sister-in-law from Hewlett High School.
My
more-
nephew is a
more than-
very talented karaoke singer in Los Angeles. Can you get him signed with Columbia Records?
And what about, wait a second, because I know that you get these insane requests also. You got something where somebody's uncle had his legs
Everybody. I have
audioed and they
everything,
wanted
everything.
to
Every-
FaceTime
Oh, are
with
you on
you.
Cameo?
Oh, I couldn't do it anymore. I
So
was.
Modi's still on Cameo, but
Yeah.
it kind of reached a fever pitch when someone was like, "Hi, my uncle's about to have a leg amputated. Can you give him a pep talk?"
But I did. And I don't care. That's
Wait,
okay.
a pep talk is amazing.
Like,
No.
hey, you're gonna
Yeah.
get your leg
Yeah.
taken off.
No.
It's
It's
gonna be
okay,
great.
you'll get another leg.
Look, a little bit of energy. Hey,
That's so much.
Oh,
but
you're so positive.
you have to be.
Yeah. Well,
You
no,
have-
you don't. I mean,
Actually-
some of us can't be.
Okay.
I mean, I do the best I can, but I can't do all that. Like I'm doing these shows. I when people send me messages, I try to, but like I can't do too much. I also have 4 kids. So
I
that's
know.
different.
You have
Yeah,
4 kids.
we're
You
like
have to
barely
be-
exhausted.
I can't
scraping
imagine.
by.
One kid, you're
I can't
Done.
imagine.
you have to be very careful with like who you open up a
That-
line of communication.
right.
with.
Yes.
Yeah, because they'll
Because-
just some of them will just
Vampires.
not a lot, but some of them.
But no, but the audiences, I love them all. I swear to God, the meet and greets, they're crazy. The ones my favorite when they just had their breasts done. So it's like 2 hard balls, like from a baseball game. Those hard balls.
You mean the men you're meeting?
Yeah, and no, the women, and then they stick my arm in between them, turn it in my ear and go, "My father's a Holocaust survivor. My mom has stage 4 cancer," and turn to the camera and smile. Literally, and I'm standing there like with these 2 breasts in my arm, and I'm like, smile and like and it's just no, but you get a good feel from you know where they're coming from, how far they've traveled for, and I just love, I literally love my audience. I
Yeah,
love
I
them.
do too. I really do. But you know, I've also had legitimate stalkers, so
Yeah.
I have to be very I have to
How are
be
you
very,
Really?
finding navigating? Because I've seen you be vocal online, like in a post October 7th world, like
Mhm.
you're a Jewish entertainer. Like, how are you navigating that now, especially like as we're like deep in this election cycle? Do you feel like your audience is very split,
I'm
or
not
do you feel
Not that
no, I'm not
Jewish.
political. Well, I mean, I'm very proud and
Yes.
you know,
But your
I'm
act is
not
not. You are a comedian who is Jewish.
well, I do a lot of Jewish stuff, but
Right.
I'm meaning I do like characters and
Yeah.
different. I don't talk about political
But
stuff.
you don't consider. I'm a Jewish comedian.
Yeah, I know.
You
I'm
are
not.
a comedian that's Jewish.
Exactly.
But you've been
Yeah,
very
yeah.
vocal on your
I
Instagram and
haven't.
stuff.
I've been a little, but mostly about the hostages.
Right.
Yes.
And if I post about a hostage and then I get stuff, you know, messages like, "You're a horrible person," like
Right.
that's where I'm like, I just can't deal. So I try to not do it as much, and I you know, I give in other ways.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of been Modi's approach, is like we try not to get too into it and like make the page be for positivity.
It
and
has to
laughter,
be
Yeah.
because otherwise you get dragged down
of course,
by
and then
like this one angle.
and then no matter. Honestly, no matter what you say or how you explain it, people have their opinions.
Right.
You're
Right.
not going to get through
Damned
to
if you
anyone.
do, damned if you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can't, it's so upsetting for me and like depressing to be in that with people online. Like I have enough I'm dealing with
Mhm,
offline
mhm.
that like, it's so, like you said, it's negative.
It's also
It's-
not a real place online.
It's not.
It's like half the time you're talking to a quote unquote talking to, you know, some like Indonesian bot.
Yeah.
It's just like you go like I get a lot of hate, quote unquote. And I go and I look at who
Yeah.
it's from, and it's like 0 followers, 0 posts.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Um,
have that. I just
so-
delete that.
Yeah, I just
Leo
delete
gets
it.
to it before. Just to delete.
I
Yeah.
delete all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no point in talking about any of it. And it also just divides people more.
Yeah.
I just don't, it's so divided in this country and in the world. Like it's insane to me.
But I get the impression that your fan base is like more queer than Modi's fan base.
I have a huge queer
Right.
fan
And so
and
that has
Jewish,
right
but
now been leaning toward this like left.
no,
area
my fans
that
aren't
is-
like that. I mean, I'd say they're like such a wide variety.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, my fans aren't like, it's really the truth. They don't get offended a lot. I mean, they're watching my comedy,
Yeah.
Mhm. That's a good point.
you know? So it's like, I'll say I am very edgy,
Right.
very. Like, I'm not like a safe comic. So they all know that and they still follow
They
me.
know what
Yeah.
they're
And I
getting
think
into.
they know that I'm like, not like, I'm so open.
Mhm.
And yeah.
No, because you take a shot at yourself and then take a shot at them.
Yeah.
So it's not like you just banging them out, you know, against them. You're taking a shot at yourself and taking a
Mhm.
shot at them. So there's a balance. It's an important element
Yeah.
in comedy when you're doing crowd work.
Yeah.
Does Zoe come and watch your shows? Like
Yeah, I mean, Zoe, I've been taking Zoe on stage. The first time I took Zoe on stage, she was 6 months old. I brought her onto stage at Caroline's and I said, "Who left this baby in the bar area?" And she was so, you remember how gorgeous she, I mean, black, full head of black
Gorgeous.
hair and like blue eye. I mean, she's stunning. So
Poo, poo, poo.
she was just like this, like, and then she used to sit when I did Gotham and Caroline's. She would sit on stage with me and just play with the cord when she was a toddler. Isn't that
Oh,
adorable?
That's just
That's
so
really
cute.
cute.
And now she's done videos with me. She's come on stage with me and sang. She's amazing.
but
And
she watches the act too.
Right now, she's at the point where she's a freshman in college, and her friends are TikTok fans of mine. So
Mhm.
it's crazy. Like
Right.
Oh,
this
wow.
has
That's
been
what-
a
yeah.
different level now. But the other ones could give a shit that I'm a.
Well, they're little.
Right. They're like,
That's so
I'm like, I
funny.
have a show, and they're like, come home. Like they don't,
Right,
you know.
right.
That's
Yeah.
so sweet. Oh
That's
my
so
God.
sweet.
Who
I'm
let
so
this
happy
baby in
for
the
you
bar
with that.
area?
Oh
Yeah.
God, thank. It's good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. There's comics that you just want nothing but great for them. It's like and Jessica's one of them. I just want to
Mm.
just blessings and happiness and just oh, you're so good.
This would be part of the show, I guess, where we like start to plug like some of your tour dates, but there's so many. I don't,
Well, I mean, the Beacon one there's a
April-
pre-sale now.
April
I don't know when this is
24th.
it's gonna
coming.
air a little later.
You're fine.
Yeah.
A few weeks.
Right.
So
So yes,
April.
it's in April 25th. But my whole website has my tour dates. I
Which
mean, my
is?
JessicaCurson.com.
We'll put it in the
Jessica,
description of the
spell it for them.
episode.
No, Jessica.
Jessica
Kirson.
S as in sandwich.
Salmon.
O as in
Operation.
operation.
Orgasm.
And N as in Knackus.
Nachas. Okay, so
I'll
Jessica
plug it
Kirson.
in.
Kirson.
And I am
RSON.
telling you people right now what I always tell all my fans: be the friend that brings the friends to the comedy show. Bring your friends to one of Jessica's shows. You will just plots laughing, the kind of laughter where your stomach hurts, your face hurts, and if it's a fun night. And it's better than sitting in a restaurant and ordering Caesar salad with chicken. It's just go see her. She's amazing. She's one of those comics that, like, if we're at the Comedy Cellar and Leo will see her on TV, he'll run downstairs to go see her.
You're so cute.
Oh.
He's so cute.
You are. I know. Really, I think I'm straight.
JessicaKirson.com, and you're online on your Instagram is
Yeah, I'm gonna link
Jessie
everything.
Kirson,
Jessie- Jessie Kirson.
JessieKirson, and then TikTok Jessica Kirson. I have a YouTube page. you know.
Yeah, enjoy
Yeah.
it. Like deep dive into Jessica. You will thank us. We have to thank A&H Provisions, #1 kosher glatt meat. They deliver. They're amazing, clean, beautiful. You're so proud that this is kosher.
Mm.
At kosherdogs.net. They have the best hot dogs in the world. Even Goyim
I have to
get their
try
hot.
those,
They're so
yeah.
good.
We'll get Seth to send.
We'll
you
get
some.
Seth to send you a package. And Whites and Luxembourg, the law firm that not only does well, they do good. Super philanthropic. They're friends of ours. Arthur Luxembourg, a friend, been on and he's been invited to come back to the podcast. We love him. And of course, Randy, his wife, who listens to the podcast to tell him what we talk about. And she's going to love you.
And they are at whiteslux.com.
Yes, and we thank you so much for listening. Have a happy New Year still. You can still say that, and it's not
This is
late.
coming out way
I
after.
know, but I say Happy New Year to like Passover.
All right. well,
So that's it. I love all of you. We love all of you. See you at a show. I have shows.
we have a lot of shows.
We have a
coming
lot
up.
of shows too. ModiLive.com. We have St. Paul, Minnesota. We have Skokie. We have Montreal. 2 shows. November 30th, December 1st. Denver is going to be off the charts lit December 5th. We're so looking forward to that show.
And there's more at ModiLive.com.
Yes, and the Beacon shows we have, there's a few tickets left on the 17th, 18th and 19th are sold out. Jessica, thank you so much for being
Thank
in
you.
my life.
Thank you for having me. I love you all.
You
Thank
have
I
to come
really
back
do.
on.
Yeah, I'll come back on anytime. I'm around more now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.